NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah just released his second mock draft of this draft season. Now, a couple of weeks ago, he released his first, and he actually had the Saints selecting Mykel Williams, edge rusher out of Georgia. So I did a film review on Mykel Williams. If you have not seen that, go check it out. But now he released his second mock draft, and he has the Saints selecting another edge rusher. This time it is Marshall's Mike Green. Now, Mike Green is a athletic freak to say the least. This guy is super twitchy and it shows up on film pretty much every game that he plays in. Now he is a little bit undersized. He is 6'4", 251 pounds. That's about 20 pounds lighter than the average NFL defensive end, but it did not stop him at all. His size is a non-issue on tape, and it didn't stop him from leading the entire FBS in sacks last year with 17. Now, as far as his fit with the New Orleans Saints, I actually think it is a really good fit because as of right now, the Saints have not hired a defensive coordinator, but all of the potential coordinators that they have interviewed all would run a 3-4 scheme. And I think in terms of Mike Green fitting in as that edge rusher in a 3-4 or outside linebacker, if you want to get technical, I think he would fit in well because he can rush the passer. That's what he does. That is his specialty. But he is also athletic enough to drop into coverage when it is asked of him, right? And that's what he would be doing in a 3-4. And another thing to note is he actually started his career in Virginia, or at Virginia, I should say, and he was a linebacker. So really, it's the perfect fit for the scheme that the Saints are more than likely going to run. With that being said, let's get into some of the film on Marshall's Mike Green. Now, when you hear he played for Marshall, you may be imagining him just running over weaker competition. And trust me, he did that, but he also played really well against higher level competition. This here is against the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, so let's get into it. First clip over here on the right side of the screen, Mr. Mike Green wearing that number 15 jersey for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Let's get into it. So, first clip here, he's just going to perform a simple chop move, right? And he's going to, kind of motion in tighter here before the snap. Sees this jet motion, doesn't worry about it, not paying attention to it at all. But check this out. Chop, bend, get around, get a hit on the quarterback. Quarterback got rid of the ball pretty fast there before Mike Green had a chance to get home. But again, just the quickness that he is able to play with here. I mean, what is this? Let's see. How many steps? We got 1, 2, and he is already around the right tackle. 2 steps. He has already performed his chop move, got around the right tackle, and the right tackle is literally chasing him, pretty much right after the snap. So, I mean, you can see right away the type of, athletic, physical freak that Mike Green is, right off the bat. Okay, next clip here. Again, working on the right side against the right tackle. And I mean, let me go ahead and play this thing for you so you can see he actually gets home this time on the sack against Ohio State. But check him set this thing up, right? Check him out. He's going to take an inside path, sell the inside move versus the tackle right there, stick his foot in the ground, stop on a dime, and hit this spin move outside of the right tackle. Now, check out how he pins that right tackle's outside arm right there, right? And what does that do? Well, that just prevents the right tackle from getting around to, mirroring him to where he can block him, and he gets around him and he gets the sack on the quarterback. So that's 2 reps right here against the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes from Mike Green, where he just won 2 different ways, right? We've seen the chop in the first clip, and this time we've seen him fake the inside, come back with the spin, and get the sack on the quarterback. So 2 clips right there against high level competition for Mike Green. Now, when you're looking for an edge rusher and you're going to select one really high in the draft, especially in the top 10, they got to be able to bend the edge at an elite level. And that is certainly what Mike Green can do, right? We've seen him win with the chop, the spin, but he can also bend the edge. This time he's going to kind of pair the chop with the bend. And again, over here on the right side of the screen, I know it's some nasty looking film, but we're dealing with small schools here. But check this out. I mean, this right tackle has absolutely no chance. Mike Green is so fast off of this snap that he misses his own chop, right? He goes for the chop, but the right tackle isn't even there yet. He's past the corner, turns it, shoot, quarterback is able to get away. But we got to look at this bend again. Let's check the bend out here from Mike Green. So there's the miss on the chop. Look at that. Look at the angle. Look at that angle that he's able to stay at. And he actually stays up right to the very last second to where the quarterback would be. But again, the quarterback was able to, move up and scramble out of the pocket. But again, like the traits that this guy has just pops up on tape time after time again. And it really just seems like he's one of those guys with elite talent. At the defensive end position, because again, he can just win in so many different ways with so many different moves. And I really feel like he's only going to get better because I do expect him to actually put on a little weight once he reaches that NFL level. All right, next clip here, we got him winning on an inside move this time. Okay, for the sack. Sheesh, look at this. So, again, we're going to set it up with the club, with his inside hand, physical with it, right there, club, swim over, club, swim over, and check it out. He essentially beats a double team here because the guard comes over to help at the very last second. But again, like Mike Green just fights through it. And again, this point at this game, we're playing against some lower level competition. But nonetheless, like you get the point here. This is what three different ways we've seen him win now. First time we're seeing him win inside. Again, the club, swim, fight through the double team, fight, get the sack on the quarterback. Now, these next few clips I'm going to show actually came from the Senior Bowl that Mike Green was invited to, and I'm so glad that he, participated in the Senior Bowl and in the drills at least. He didn't play in the game; he opted out of that part. But I'm so glad he came and was able to participate in some of these one-on-one drills to, again, prove himself against really good competition. Obviously, when you get to a place like the Senior Bowl, you're going to get like a big melting pot full of talent from all over the country. And Mike Green did not disappoint one bit, okay, especially in one on one drills. And this next clip here, I'm pretty sure you've already seen it because it went pretty viral. But he's going to be working against Oregon's. Well, he plays left tackle for Oregon, but in this video or this drill, he's playing right tackle. It's Josh Connerly Jr., right? A guy that I actually am a big fan of. I think he's going to be a really good tackle in the NFL, but he's playing right tackle here, so it is out of position for him. So just, just to put it into context a little bit. But Mike Green, one-on-one against Josh Connerly Jr. here, and you can see that Mike Green is just going to absolutely run over him, and he's pretty hype after the fact, as you can see, which, hey, much deserved because again, going against another elite prospect and Josh Connerly Jr. And what's interesting here is Josh Connerly Jr. actually goes for a jump set, right? So a jump set is essentially when you're just quick setting as an offensive lineman. And when I was watching Josh Connerly Jr. tape, this is actually something that he did really, really well, was jump set. So the fact that Mike Green was able to do this versus him when he was jump setting, to me, is even more impressive because one thing when you're doing this as an offensive tackle, you're not only trying to just kind of disrupt the plans of the defensive end, you're trying to actually get momentum into them as well. Because, typically when you're setting as a tackle, you're setting this way or you're setting vertical and you're kind of letting them come to you, right? So you're letting that defensive player generate the most momentum and force. But when you jump set, you're taking the fight to them. So the fact that Mike Green was able to do this to him off of a jump set is just, it's kind of mind blowing, to be completely honest with you. I mean, just gets completely in his chest and runs right through him. I mean, the probably the most impressive rep from all the one-on-ones throughout the entire Senior Bowl. This was just incredible stuff from Mike Green here against Josh Connerly Jr. Okay, this next rep here, once again going against Connerly Jr. This time he's going to beat him on the inside. And again, another impressive rep. Now, we've seen him run straight through him in the previous clip. This time he's going to beat him on the inside, and kind of that, like that rep we seen earlier in one of his games, he's going to use that inside club right there, boom, and then again swim over to beat him on the inside. Now, this should have been a win for Josh Connerly, right? He had this. At this point, he does a nice job stopping it outside and posting back inside. And at this point, you would think all he has to do is just move his feet and run him, horizontally down the field, or yeah, down the field. But again, he's such a feisty player, Mike Green. Like, he just does not give up. The motor that he plays with it's really unmatched. And again, like at this point, this should have been a win for the offensive lineman. But watch the violent club right here. Watch this. Boom, right there with that outside hand. and then the swim over the top. Wow, he's holding him with that outside hand. Watch the outside hand of Connor, or excuse me, of Mike Green right here. He's holding that arm of um, of the offensive lineman to prevent him from moving any further this way, right? And then we come over with the swim from the other arm to win the rep inside. Just insanely impressive stuff from Mike Green here against another elite prospect and Josh Connerly Jr. at the Senior Bowl. Next clip here, this time he's lined up on the left side. And again, this time we're seeing him win with a totally different pass rush move, right? This time we're seeing win with hand swipes, right? And this isn't the worst job by the left tackle, but with the quarterback's depth here, only at what, 6 yards, maybe 6.5 yards. This is an extremely short turn, or extremely short corner here for Mike Green to turn. And anytime he gets to the quarterback when he's at this short of depth, that's a win for the defensive lineman or the defensive end in this situation. So again, this time we're going to see him win with hand swipes, right? Let's play this thing through, swipe the hands, do it again, keep fighting, get around the edge to the quarterback. So now we've seen him win with multiple different moves. I mean, the toolkit that he provides you as a defensive end, as an edge rusher, it's so many moves, right? And as an offensive lineman, having to prepare for a guy like this every week, it's almost impossible to prepare for, because it's not like he's a specialist with one premier move. Like it's not like you just have to worry about a spin move. No, you got to worry about a spin move, you got to worry about a swipe, you got to worry about his cross chop. I mean, it's just on and on and on, the amount of moves that this guy can beat you with. And again, here, talk about a guy that just plays with motor. Even when his moves are stopped, here he's going for the inside to the spin. Offensive tackle does a nice job here, actually, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to keep fighting, right? First move doesn't work. Guess what? We're going to convert this into a bull, and we're going to walk him back into the quarterback again. So even when his move is stopped, like it is here, he's going to continue fighting through the rep until he gets to that quarterback. He is a player that is obviously not satisfied until he gets hands on the quarterback. So all in all, I would personally have no problems with the Saints drafting a guy like Mike Green out of Marshall. I think that, number one, the Saints need all the talent they can get, and they need all of the juice they can get. And really, it does not get any better in terms of talent, juice, production, whatever you want to call it, than Mike Green out of Marshall. I would personally love this pick, but we'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.